So last week I was talking about ways to stay inspired creatively, and one of the things I talked about was environment. This week I've spent a couple of days reorganising my studio, and especially the area where I paint, the place where I can be loose and free and get messy. I call this my wet area. I know I'm really lucky to have such a great space, and believe me, I don't take it for granted. But whether you have a little space on the floor that you set up from a box of supplies kept under your bed, or an expansive split-level barn with rural views, or the attic in an old house, I believe that making it a place you love to be really helps spark and sustain those inspiration juices. In fact, any space, not just a creative one, gives us a mood and well-being boost, doesn't it? Most of the videos I watch on here, on YouTube, are about this exact same thing. I have to say, I really enjoyed this process, and especially because I really feel now that I am properly settling into this room, which is still relatively new to me. I am now down to some fine-tuning to really make the studio an even happier, happy place. The intention is to promote the essential well-being aspects of my creative process, so that my lights stay bright and this can be reflected through my art making. I wanted to make improvements so my room becomes more practical, uplifting, more organised, low maintenance to keep tidy, and inviting, as well as a special, inspiring, multi-sensory space. Let's see how I got on.
So now I've got my little smoky thing going, the diffuser, with my lovely cedar oil, and I've dug out something that can act as a curtain, just to hang right from the top of that window. I don't know if I can get that in, there we go. So I think I'm going to ask James to put a wire right at the top there to just block a bit of sunlight in the morning, and it'll keep the room a little bit cooler, and then be able to work in here in over this end. I don't tend to go down there, and it's not too bad down there actually, but yeah, this end it gets really like full on sun in the morning, and I don't really like sitting in the heat or seeing my screen. I can't see it very well, so having a little curtain up there will help, and then I can pull it back as the afternoon sun moves round. And I just wanted to add in a really nice aromatherapy aspect to the room, multi-sensory, and have that going. I think it goes for 30 seconds and then turns itself off for 30 seconds and then goes again. James and I decided to get one each, one for his room and one for mine. So we've ordered some different oils as well to put in there. And then, yeah, if I do a little pan on my workspace, you can see I don't really have, let's see, am I getting all this in? I don't really have enough organisation and space to actually paint properly. And I do like to kind of come in the morning and have that space ready for me to just jump in and paint or add something to something. But at the moment, yeah, it's really got to a point where it's chock-a-block. And because if I just swing around here again, this area here, I don't need the lamp there because I don't sit here to work, so I don't need a task lamp, so that can go. And this stuff is all stored. And what I could do, because it's art supplies, is first of all sort out my art trolley. So yeah, swap ends basically. So the stuff that's at that end is going to this end, and then vice versa. So that part there, the 2/3 of it, if you like, up to about that point, is all work area for me. Yeah, so that's the plan this morning. So I thought you could keep me company while I sort it all out, basically. So just a little check-in then to see what I found during my my tidy up. It's amazing what you find, isn't it, when you're doing a tidy up? A couple of things I did. I think this is the second year of my degree, where I was doing a self-portrait project, and I was doing a lot of interior kind of abstracty work as well in oils. And I think this is one of the only things I've got left from my degree, apart from this one. So I did my degree, what year? It was 1993 to 6. And then this little one here, it's had to come off its frame. That's not the right frame because the frame got broken while I was away 1 year. And it was a finished painting, obviously. And so it got a little bit damaged here at the edge. And I think there was, oh yeah, a little spot of damage here as well, I think. Something fell on it. Yeah, so I'm going to have to use a plane or get James to just make this a little bit smaller. We haven't got round to it yet. We keep meaning to. It's just one of those little jobs. And then re-stretch the canvas. And then once I've done that, I'm going to fill in these little dents. And then hopefully I can, still retrieve it and maybe sell it for a reduced price or something.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
So I'm getting on okay, I think, and just arranging things how I want them at the moment and move things around as you've seen. I just want to bang a few more nails in. And I had an extra panel from this easel thing, my bench, and James suggested yesterday that maybe I put it 90 degrees. Yeah, so if I put it, I've just wedged it there with that mirror. It's really heavy, so it's not attached at all yet, but just to build me a little corner to be able to store extra things and lean things against and things like that. So yeah, that might be quite nice. And it actually, when I'm sitting, hang on a sec. Yeah, so when I'm sitting down here, if you like, I've got like a little corner which kind of blocks off the door. So that could be quite a nice feng shui for, yeah, just feeling quiet and peaceful. And I quite like it. I said to James yesterday I wasn't sure, but now I've sort of put it in situ. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah, and obviously I have written my Picasso quote on the wall as well, which I rather like. So we're getting there. But I just thought I'd turn the camera around and say hi, because I don't think I've done that this morning, have I? I've been showing you all the stuff that's going on. So hi. Hang on a sec, let me get my juice. Yeah, so have a little juice break. It's thirsty work. So I'm having juice, but if you're having tea or coffee, cheers to you. I still haven't had a coffee and I'm feeling okay, but I must be honest, I have had some caffeine in the form of matcha green tea, just 1 cup in the morning, and that's been, yeah, got rid of my headaches and just made me feel a little bit more alive in the morning, so that's great. Recommend that. And we've not decided how long we're going to give up caffeine for at the moment, but we're definitely not going to have any in May. And James wanted a cup the other morning at the weekend, and I said, try a green tea, have a matcha. And he didn't have a coffee, he had this matcha instead. So we're both doing okay, actually. So there's the coffee waffle. And yeah, I'm going to get back to sorting out this mess. So yeah, that's what we're looking like over there now. I left all that stuff because that's going to stay there anyway, so it's just a case of swapping the ends. And at the moment that looks like that, but I'm probably going to shuffle things around a little bit as I settle in. But it feels better already. And I think I need to, obviously I'm going to pick the plant off the floor. The plant, by the way, a little update on our little plant. I can't remember what kind of tree it is now, somebody did tell me. I'm not sure I could actually pronounce it. I call him the Tree of Hope, anyway. He's supposed to be one of the easiest indoor trees to grow, and I was managing to destroy it. And every morning when I came in, it was losing more and more leaves in quite a dramatic way. So somebody, I can't remember who it was, it might have been one of my patrons or it might have been one of you on the YouTube, told me what kind of tree it was, and then I looked it up and I realised I'd been overwatering it, and also it didn't like sunshine. So I've since stopped watering it. I haven't watered it at all. It does need maybe a little water tomorrow or the next day. And I've put it in this corner here, which is the shadiest corner in the room. It doesn't get any direct sun at all. And yeah, I've come in this morning and it's got some new leaves. It's got some new little baby leaves. I don't know if you can see. But in here it's got a new leaf. Look, this is the one. Only one was saved on that one. And it's got another down here as well, another little new shoot with new leaves on it, and this is a new one as well. So he's much happier already. So therefore I'm much happier too, and I'm going to put him in the corner where he's happy. And then I might move some of these big canvases just so there's not so many sticking out. That sticks out a little bit too far, so I can either put them under the bench down here, or maybe at the end when I rejig things around. So far so good, huh? I love watching decluttering and tidying up videos on YouTube because I always find it inspires me to want to do a little declutter, tidy up thing. So yeah, I hope this is inspiring you to clean out a drawer or a little corner or just an area that's been really, really bothering you. So for example, at home at the moment, one of the areas that's really, really bothering me, and we haven't got round to decluttering yet, is our entranceway, where we store our coats, shoes, scarves, things like that. And I think that's brewing now. I'd like to get that little area sorted. Because once you start decluttering and organising, it's kind of a bit addictive, isn't it? You kind of want to do a little bit more and a little bit more. So yeah. And I might not get everything sorted on the Oval Office today, but I'd like to get this part organised so that I can at least do a little bit of painting this afternoon and also when I come in the morning. So I've been in a little while this morning already, just sort of pottering around in my new organised space. I haven't quite finished and I'll get to that in a minute, but I did spend some time yesterday afternoon just sort of finalising where I wanted my stuff to be, if you like, so it was really going to work for me in a really ergonomic way. And I haven't finalised that properly yet because I need to live in it for a few weeks, I think, and actually work in it just to make those final adjustments. But I'm pretty happy that I've kind of plotted it out the way I want it. And I got sidetracked yesterday because as I was going through all my art supplies, I realised I had a couple of things missing. And so I sort of went on a bit of a mission to try and find the lost items. And I've not found them yet, so that's a bit of a mystery where those are. And it doesn't really matter because it's not things that I use or need right now, but it was just like that, that thing of not being able to find them and not knowing where they were. And I knew they weren't at home, even though I did double check yesterday. Anyway, I haven't found them yet, so hopefully they'll turn up over the next few weeks. And the other little puzzle I had to solve was to work out a way to keep the space tidy, but without putting things away all the time, because quite often I have my sort of favourite art supplies that I'm using right now for a series of work or work that is related to each other. And so I don't want to keep putting my pencil crayons back in the box, if you like. So I've worked out a kind of easy way to keep them neat and tidy, but also have access to them really easily and have them on my desk without them completely cluttering my space and me not being able to work. Anyway, I'm going to finish tidying up. I've got down here on the floor, I've got a few bits and bobs that I just need to tidy up and organise a little bit, and mostly my drawing art supplies. And then I'm going to organise the bottom of my trolley. I think I've worked out the top of the trolley now, and I might ask James to put some hooks as well for my rags as well. That would be really helpful, and then I can hang those up. I tend to hook them over the tops of my easels when they're all wet. I swap them round and then dry them out, and then every few months or so, maybe every 6 months actually, it's not very regularly, I'll take them home and wash them in the washing machine. So it's basically just a few teeny tiny little adaptations, if you like, just tweaks to make the studio really work tickety-boo. I want to be comfortable, happy, tidy-ish, feel peaceful and calm and at ease, and inspired, really inspired to work. I think throughout all our travels, when we were either living in the van and travelling in the van, or when we were house sitting, because we did quite a few longer term house sits, it always took me a good few weeks to settle in and find a space where I could create. And I think the same things happened in this room, and it's just taking me a little while to find out, first of all, where I was comfortable in the room to actually work. And obviously this corner is my happy place. And then obviously once I've worked out where I want to work, I can then fine tune, reorganise where my stuff needs to be. So for example, that end needed to be the storage and this end needed to be an extended workspace. And I've got enough space for me to have paint tubes and pencils and things like that out, so things that I'm using without it crowding my workspace. So I've still got a space to create. And also I'm definitely going to be working on the floor as well. I love working on the floor. And the other day when I was working on the floor, I got so much done. So anyway, I'm going to finish up and then I can get painting. Oh yeah.
So this is what I do to organise all my small items that I'm using in all my current projects. I don't want to leave them out constantly on my workspace. And as I'm a mixed media artist, it's often a challenge to keep tidy. I end up having clutter everywhere, and that causes me overwhelm and also a restricted work area. Any pencil crayons I need to keep easy access to, I store in these little trays which can stack. So I currently have one for my Prismacolors, one for my graphite, and one for my Caran d'Ache. And now I've cleaned the art trolley of items I don't use regularly, I can store everything on there. It's out of the way, but it's still within my view and within easy reach. I'll probably adapt this over time, and ideally would love an extra shelf on my trolley. I wonder if James will get the chance to modify it for me.
So just to show you what's going on in the rest of the room then, I'm kind of okay this side of the room. We had shop orders yesterday, so I tidied all that area up, the shop area. We like to pack on the standing table, and then all the sort of bits and bobs are over there in the corner. But the thing I do still have kind of disorganised is, I'll just straighten you up a bit, sorry. There we go. Is the Oval Office. So It's not too bad. I've got to kind of put things in piles and things like that. And yeah, I need to find homes for a few bits and bobs. I do get asked quite a lot about my Art Nouveau book. So it is, I always forget when I'm reading the comments who the authors are, but this is it. It's the art, it says Art Nouveau down the side, and obviously we've got Klimt the Kiss, and it's Rosalind Ormiston and Michael Robinson. So that's who that's by. And it is a really lovely book. I love it so much. And I think I've mentioned a few times now that I don't really buy many books, but this one really got my eye a few years ago, and James treated me to it. Some nice bookshops in Glastonbury, and this one was from one of those. So yeah, that was the authors of that. I meant to say that a few weeks ago. So let's go to the important corner, shall we, and see what's going on round here. And I'll just show you quickly round because I don't want to make this video super long. Obviously you've seen me do the trolley, and the top of the trolley is all done as well. Let's see if I can get a better angle, hang on. The top of the trolley is all done as well. I've got all my paints and my mediums and all sorts of bits and bobs here. Famous black gesso everyone asks me about. And yes, I'm really liking this board that I've propped up. James is going to attach it for me properly, so it's not going to be wonky like that, but I just put it yesterday in situ to see how I felt with it up. I thought it might block the feng shui of the door, so hang on a sec, see if I can get a better angle. There you go, you can see I've just propped it up and it's kind of a bit wonky, but I thought it might block the chi, if you like, if you're thinking that in terms of feng shui. But it actually creates a really nice cubby when I'm sitting over there working. So I think that's going to be a nice addition to the room. So the other side of that corner then is here, where I've set up an area to store my canvases. And then as I move further along the bench, hang on a sec, I've got most of my brushes are now over here. And I've also got a load of empty jars and containers because I'm a bit of a collector of those. They always come in handy. And then I've got this area here, which is to dry my paintbrushes. And also when I've rinsed my mugs out, I just tip them up here and just dry them on here. And then I've created this little box here with regularly used items, if you like. So it's got loads of bits and bobs in there, but they're in a box and they're all together. It's very Marie Kondo, isn't it? Having a tray or a box for things. And then moving on to my main work area, this drawing board here that James gave me a few years ago. I've got all of this to use as an easel so I can stand and do my work, and then I can sit here. And currently I've got some bits and bobs on here, but I'm going to keep this pretty clear. And then I've just, as I was rooting through, I found a little mermaid, so I think I'm going to finish her. She's quite old, so I've got a lot of corrections to do on her, but I think she might be quite fun. And then I've got my my recent piece, so give those to James and he can photograph them and they can go in the shop. And then further along, let's just move the chair, hang on. So further along on this side of the room, this is my biggest change really, because this is the area that's now opened up. And so obviously I've put the tree of hope where he's happy with the quote. He quite likes Picasso as well, I think. And then I've kept that corner pretty clear because I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to put there, apart from I've got all my palettes down there and then my easel as well. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use that area. And I've also taken all my water containers and the brushes I'm currently using and put those off the drawing board. So just need to move in and settle in and start working to know exactly how it's all going to work out. But it feels so different. So it's opened it up so much. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video and you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe to my channel or you can check me out on Instagram. I hope you have a beautiful creative weekend. Try to keep your lights as bright as you can, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.
Wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future